USA Radio News, I'm Hope Duggar.
Broadcasting live from the KSHP studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's time to get on the right side of sports betting. It's time for the Odds Couple.
Welcome to the Odds Couple. My name is Scott Pritchard, a professional sports bettor handicapper. This show is about sports betting. I'm joined by my good buddy, it must be Friday, Anthony Padilla. Welcome.
Scott, today we'll be talking about some fun stuff, man. I've been waiting for weeks for this day to come. You and I made a bet on the Golden State-Denver series. You had no way Golden State's got a chance to win this. You're crazy, Anthony. You're riding that ego too high with all your wins, which I won again last week, by the way. And, more importantly, I won this series. So today it is, folks, I don't know if you can hear that. That is the sound of my brand new wall barber-style clippers because Scott Pritchard is losing his hair today.
Not a happy camper. It's Happy Friday, Sin City, Las Vegas, but I'm not happy. I am going to, apparently, unless Anthony can be bought, I'm still holding out hope. Right now, as far as the hair being gone, we're going to do this, I guess, at 10:30 Las Vegas time, about 23 minutes from right now. Stay tuned if you care, and if you don't, better yet.
How does that feel?
It doesn't feel good. I've been combing my hair nonstop the last 24 hours. I'm a little annoyed. I mean, the Denver Nuggets, are you kidding me? I mean, George Karl, 30 years coaching experience. You're a big fat favorite, the number 3 seed taking on the Golden State Warriors, and their star player David Lee is out. 30 years coaching experience, and you have more talent. That's why you were a big favorite in this series. Anthony Padilla, I mean, last night after the game, after the Warriors knocked off the Nuggets, everyone, the players from both sides, the coaches, the broadcasters, no one saw this coming. No one saw. Well, Anthony Padilla did. And because of it, now I lose my hair.
Hey, man, it's not about the experience. It's not about how much time you've got invested. It's about what you've got going into the playoffs. And you remember we talked about this just before. I said this is, don't count this team out. Steph Curry is really, really hot. Right? I mean, he's been great all year, but he's really hot right now. This team is actually gelling at the right time, and that was it. Now, I'm not going to overdo it and say, yeah, I mean, of course, I had my concerns as well, but they did what they had to do. And maybe it's a case of Denver taking a little bit too lightly early on and then just not being able to play catch-up.
I'm concerned about this personally because Anthony Padilla, my good buddy, shaved his head a few short weeks ago, and based on how it looks, I'm very concerned because it doesn't look good. But Anthony's a good-looking guy, so obviously I have concerns. Socially, I get very little action. So with the shaved head, I'm concerned I won't get any action.
Well, you can demean me all you want, Scott, but mine is already a month closer to being fully back. Yours hasn't come off yet, so just remember how much longer you've got to go.
I spoke to my good friend Zane, who is the lady who does my hair. I just told Mr. Whitney, the executive producer, a week ago I paid $100 for a haircut and highlights only because I was so confident that the Nuggets, with more talent and a proven coach, would actually win this series. They were only a 4-1 favorite. But I spoke to Zane, who cuts my hair, and she does Celine Dion, of all people. And she was willing to come in and take care of this. But I said, no, Anthony has it under control. Only to find out you don't have a guard for this. Here's the concern.
Oh, no, I have a guard. It's just at home because that's how we do things. We do things no guard. Like Denver, no guard. That's why they lost.
Great. Well, just as a point of reference, and everyone needs to know this for insurance and liability concerns, I have a beautiful birth bubble mark on the side of my head that goes all over my head.
We'll try to leave it.
If you clip that, my head will collapse and I could die. So just keep this in mind.
Well, I don't know if you're giving me incentive to leave it or take it off.
One thing I will say, based on incentive, it's never too late to talk. Potential buyout. I would be willing to, instead of doing this silliness, I would be willing to pay you cash and to take Al, the board man, executive producers Jacob Cannon, Scott Whitney, Brett Grant, the GM here, take everyone out for In-N-Out burgers with strawberry shakes and fries, and kick you back an additional $8 cash.
Well, when you put it like that, I can only say...
You're serious. I mean, you really are going to deprive Al, for crying out loud. He hasn't eaten in 3 days. Jacob hasn't eaten in 2 hours. You're going to deprive these guys.
Are you kidding? They're all ready for the Clippers, man. They wish it was 10:30 already.
You're listening to The Odds Couple, KSHP AM 1400 Radio, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Simulcast live and worldwide, Vegas Video Network. At least one thing with radio, it's here and done. But being video, being live and worldwide, and this is going to be archived. This I'll just be happy when it's over and done. And what's up with this? How is it that you planned this? Anthony is only here on Fridays, and the deciding game was last night. I couldn't even buy myself a week to where he'd forget.
I love it. How great was that the deciding game comes the night before we're in here together?
There's only one thing worse than watching that painful, torturous game every 37 seconds getting texted from Anthony.
Well, and what I would think would be worse, because I was sweating a little bit, let's not forget, Denver was down by 18 with 9 minutes left. All of a sudden, they mount this comeback. They erased 15 of those points over a 5-minute span. With 4:57, it became a 5-point game. And, they really fought their way back in it. I was sweating a little bit. But knowing that those were the stakes, man, that could not have felt good. I would have rather them just got blown out than come back close within 2 and the ball with 10 seconds left, and then...
Well, there were a couple of things, and again, I give Mark Jackson and the Golden State Warriors a lot of credit because this team won 10 less games than the Nuggets during the course of the regular season, and they were on the road. But they stole home court by stealing Game 2 after losing Game 1 by 2 points. But the Denver Nuggets... They lost 3 home games the entire season, and then on the road, a road losing record. Golden State very good at home, but the Nuggets could not win one road game, even though they had more talent. They were the better team. The better team almost always wins in basketball because you have to win 4 times in a 7-game series. So I put it right square on George Karl, the coach. 30 years experience, out-coached by Mark Jackson, who's a likable guy and a good coach. But come on. 2 years experience. This team, first of all, congratulations, Golden State. Congratulations. Now you get to play my San Antonio Spurs. The last time you won in San Antonio was a millennium ago, 1997. Are you kidding? They're in the Western Conference. They play multiple times a year, but 29 straight times the Spurs have won at home against the Warriors.
Now, Scott, did you learn nothing
They
from
have
this?
no shot.
Did you
The Warriors.
Did you learn nothing from this Warriors-Nuggets series? That you're ready to start throwing out the statistics about why the Spurs are definitive winners against Golden State?
They are.
Oh, man, because I feel another bet coming on.
Again, we know that I have a big fat future on the Spurs to win the Western Conference, plus 250, plus 220, all right? And fortunately, blessed with Russell Westbrook going down. I feel bad for Russell. You never want an injury to happen. But no one knows more about injuries than my San Antonio Spurs. But as far as, if you're the Spurs, would you rather play a number 3 seed Denver or a number 6 seed Golden State? So it bodes well for my future. Having said that, I do not want to shave this.
If I'm San Antonio, I'd rather play the number 3 seed, knowing that the 6 seed just did that, because they're a much better team than.
There he goes again.
Well, look,
being outrageous and out of control and accurate. That's the most sickening part.
Now you brought up how Denver lost 3 games at home all season. That's why I put this solely on the shoulders of the team. Because when Steph Curry... Now, remember how we talked yesterday when I called in? We were discussing how Denver made adjustments on Steph Curry in that game. And that's why, they were too much, and then they gave him too much to handle. Golden State came out. They came out, I don't want to say flat, but... Let's remember, they were down by 12 early in that game last night and for most of the first half. In fact, the entire first half. Then they came out in the second half, and Steph Curry did what he's done in every other game in the series. He got hot in the third quarter. Thus, Denver didn't stick to those adjustments that they made on him. They let him get hot, and once he got hot, the rest of the team followed.
I give the Warriors all the credit in the world. I really do. But I will say, no one's talking about this, but I'll talk about it. The game changed based on one phantom call thanks to the refs, and you expect that. Home cooking, home court, home crowd, you're going to get the advantage calls. And this happened in the third quarter, 10 minutes to go. Steph Curry had made one basket the entire game. One basket. He goes to the basket. No contact, no foul. Foul, he goes to the line. Now he is comfortable. Obviously a 90% free throw shooter. He makes both shots, came right down, bam, hit a three, and then it was off to the races. That tied in with the fact that Fareed picked up 2 fouls within about 12 seconds in the second half. That was critically important. But having said all that, a lot of Denver Nugget fans are upset, me included, with the officiating late. And again, not to take anything away from the Warriors, they earned this. And as George Karl, the one thing I agree with him, he said this was a proud loss. Okay, it's like, really, pal?
Now look,
he said the series wasn't lost last night, and he's right. But two things: one, the charge or the block late on McGee was a joke. Awarded Jarrett Jack 2 points, which was not right. And then late, 11 seconds to go, Fareed had a slam dunk to tie the game. But they said that the ball went out of bounds before Brewer got there, and that just did not happen.
Now look, this is what I don't like from Denver fans. You were crying foul. Hey, Golden State, shut up. In the previous game when Mark Jackson was not calling out the officiating, but basically saying that they let him get a little too rough. But now all of a sudden you lose, and let's scream about the officials. Well,
No,
listen,
I just got done
you
saying
live by
that-
the sword, you die by the sword. I understand you said not to take anything away from Golden State, but that's because you're a pretty reasonable guy for the most part. But Denver fans and everybody that's going to continue this is not. Nobody can lose anymore. Nobody can just say, you know what, we went out there, they played hard, we played hard. They missed calls on both sides got some calls. So it balances out
Well,
over
I
the course
think
of the
in
series.
defense of what you're saying, actually, I mean, Mark Jackson was saying that the Nuggets were dirty and they were cheap when just the opposite was true. And I will agree with George Karl. He said, wow, you want to see physicality? This is a finesse series compared to what the Grizzlies and the Clippers are doing, and he's right.
Well, sure. Well, did you see the last 30 seconds of the game with all that stuff that was going on under the basket when Golden State was inbounding the ball? These guys, Denver was all over them, and the whistle was not blowing, and it was like, what are you doing? There's a difference between letting them play and, I mean, come on. They're trying to foul, and you're not blowing the whistle.
Your man, Andrew Bogut, was a man amongst boys last night. 14 points, 21 rebounds. I'm telling you, he was the difference in addition to Steph Curry.
Well, look, Steph Curry had over the series, Steph Curry had 92 points in the second half. That's the most points scored by any player in any series. Again, they made the adjustments in one game around that. And the one game that they took him out, they won the game handily, you know.
You're listening to The Odds Couple on KSHP AM 1400 Radio, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Scott Pritchard. I am a professional sports bettor handicapper featured on VegasInsider.com. That's right. I'm going to be a walking, talking billboard after I lose my hair in about 15 minutes. You can also check me out at Pritchard'sPicks.com. That's Pritchard'sPicks.com. Tim Donaghy, former NBA official, going to have him on a weekly basis, Tuesdays with Tim. I'm a featured handicapper on his site, RefPicks.com. Al, the board man, executive producer, Scott Whitney, Vegas Video Network, Jacob Cannon, Brett Grant. Everyone is here and rooting against me and the Nuggets. And because of this, I get no love, no support. I'm giving Anthony an opportunity to buy everyone burgers at In-N-Out Burger and cash, and he's respectfully, or actually disrespectfully, saying no.
Well, unfortunately, the bet was between you and I, not everybody else. I'm sure when you go to the sports book and cash your winning tickets, I don't see you handing anybody cash around you because you played that money. So as much as I love everybody else, I want that hair gone, man.
That's your defense? Really, that's your answer?
That's all I need.
It's all about you? It's not about, I mean, Al hasn't eaten here in, 2 hours?
Who cares? Who cares? He'll find something. I'm sure there's something in that desk over there.
Well, now we have the Warriors taking on the Spurs, and I mean, you never bet on a streak to end, so I'm waiting for you to say something ridiculous. You actually think this Warrior team has a shot against my Spurs 4 times in a 7-game series?
Yep. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they'll make it a series.
29 straight losses in San Antonio. Now, they did play 4 times during the regular season, 2-2. Each team won on their home court. David Lee, do you think he'll play?
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because
Do you know who David Lee is?
this is a guy that, yeah, he's the lead singer and guitarist for Van Halen, right?
That's
David
true.
Lee?
Yeah,
Right,
David Lee, yeah.
Yeah.
You're 2/3 right.
Now, look, how impressive was it? And I know, again, you don't see this on the numbers, so you may not care about it. Torn hip flexor, said to be out for the rest of the playoffs, makes an appearance last night on the court. albeit it was a minute and a half, 1 shot, 1 rebound. Doesn't matter. That's an emotional boost to the team, to the fans. He was supposed to be out for the rest of the playoffs. Derrick Rose has been out for the last year as of yesterday. He was cleared 2 months ago, Scott. 2 months ago. Now, everybody's still giving Derrick Rose a pass. For what reason? Everybody says, well, you can't. Look, he's always been the guy that he fights hard and he this and he that. He's never shown anything otherwise. Okay, well, in today's day and age, when on the medical side, we actually have more medical miracles than the other way. I mean, it'd be one thing if this was 80 years ago and this was the first time an ACL got blown and we didn't know what to do and he still had a wooden brace on his leg. But that's not the case. He was medically cleared 2 months ago. And everybody's still saying, well, only he knows. You don't want to push him. You don't want to. Well, if that's the case, then what is the point of having the medical clearance?
Well, I trust the doctors. And to a certain degree, I trust the players. But I agree with you here, Anthony, because you look at Noah. That Chicago Bulls team, they're built on toughness, passion, energy, effort. Noah, again, hurt, but keeps bringing it. Derrick Rose, the face of the franchise. I mean, I don't know if I can disagree with you on this. It must be frustrating to be a Bulls fan right now.
Oh, can you imagine, man, in that city where you've got the Bears, and clearly football is not basketball, but that is a football mentality town. You've got that's a tough linebacker team or a mindset. That whole town is just cold weather and bruising and hitting. And basketball, they expect that same kind of just get after it, kind of scrap it out type of mentality. And then you've got this finesse, GQ kind of guy that's always been very good, and he's always brought his game to the table, but I'm sorry. Nobody else wants to question this guy because everybody's saying, well, what's worse, that he comes back and gets hurt again? Wrong, man. That is BS. You've been cleared for 2 months. You've got every other athlete in every other sport trying to get back before the doctors say they can come back, and this guy was cleared 2 months ago, and he's saying he's still not ready? I don't buy it.
Well, with David Lee, with the injury, I mean, he played about $120 last night. 1 rebound. He was 0 for 1 shooting. It was more an emotional thing to get the crowd into the game. I guess the question is, if he plays in the second round against the San Antonio Spurs, I mean, I love this guy. He averages a double-double, rebounds, points per game. But I'm telling you, I just don't think, if he plays, that he'll be a factor. What say you?
I don't think he'll be a factor either because San Antonio, I believe, would be a much more physical team with him than Denver, even though, I'm not trying to backtrack. Obviously, Denver was very physical. But San Antonio has just a more physical type of presence that I think that I don't think he'll be a factor. He got hurt too early in this series, and to work him back in, I don't know. I'm hesitant.
Game 1 is Monday night. That means the San Antonio Spurs will have been off 8 days. Not a big deal. They were off 8 days a year ago when they stuck it to the LA Clippers. We broadcast the Clipper games, by the way. Clippers taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Big game. Grizzlies are favored by 6.5. Blake Griffin, we don't know if he's going to play. If he does, will he be 100%? But, man, this Memphis Grizzlies team has really played tremendous ball. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. The studio line is open, 702-221-7283. That's 221-7283. Feel free to interrupt at any time.
Let's give people a chance. Well, you're going to give the number again because let's give people a chance to save Scott's hair.
What does that mean?
Let's have people call in, and you let us know. Off with the hair, or let him keep it and take a buyout with burgers.
I think we can shut down the phone lines on that. Everyone's going to want to see a goofy-looking guy with a shaved head.
I just wanted you to say it out loud. Now you know that's why we're... All right, now look.
I haven't gotten any love. I have not received any love or support from anybody in radio land, video land, here in the studio. Nobody.
Now, listen to this. I was just pulling this up. Interesting little tidbit of information here. Roses are perennials, so they grow, flower, and seed for many years. They grow and bloom over the spring and summer, then die back in the fall and winter, and renew themselves the following spring. Pansies, on the other hand, have a 2-year life cycle. During the first year, they produce green leaves. After surviving the winter, they return and sprout both seeds and flowers. And then after 2 years, they die off.
Very educational.
Pansies.
Not only entertaining, but educational.
Absolutely.
That's what the odds couple
Absolutely.
is all about. We have a call. What's the...
Yes,
what do we have?
hello. Hello.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of Kojak. I would like to see your head shaved, please.
Kojak or Cujo?
Kojak.
Kojak.
I would like to see your head shaved.
Well,
I think you are-
Kojak lost his hair.
Have your
Cujo,
All right, great. Well,
Thank
we're
you.
about
Love the
5
show.
minutes.
that's one for the Clippers.
We're about 5 minutes away from, again, $100 for a haircut with highlights a week ago, and you're not going to bow out. So, hey, the sooner we get this done, the sooner. 5 minutes to Kojak. All right. Scott Whitney, the executive producer, having way too much fun with this, I think.
I think everybody's having too much fun with this, Scott.
At my expense. That's why
In fact, if we could find a way to do this every week, this would up the ratings for
Yeah.
us.
Well, I will give you credit, my friend. I mean, Anthony. You have been on a roll when it comes to picking games. I believe it was January, the last time Anthony ATS against the spread had a losing game.
January of '86.
He's here once a week, every Friday. The original co-host, co-anchor of the Odds Couple. Love having you here. Man, it's a lot more fun mocking you when you're not as accurate as you've been here the past few weeks, months. I liked it better when you started out in football 0-3. That was fun.
That seemed like quite a while ago, huh?
I guess because it was.
I think that's about the last time Derrick Rose played.
Well, we'll see how the Bulls fare against the New Jersey Nets. Game 7, New Jersey Nets taking
And how
on the
about
Chicago
that, man?
Bulls.
What if the Bulls? I pose this question as well. Is it fair? What if they win this series? What if they? I don't know, man. The way Brooklyn looked the other night, it's possible Chicago's done.
That's the concern with the Nets. I mean, you never know what you're going to get, but they are at home. You have to figure that they're going to win, defend, hold, serve at home. It's time for Spin the Win. That's right. We are going to spin the wheel. We have the Oklahoma City Thunder at home. Actually, they're on the road. Game 6 taking on the Houston Rockets. Rockets a small 1.5 point favorite. Spin to win has to do with being objective, being a progressive, independent. We'll make time, my friend.
Scott.
Yes, we will make time.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
Yeah. 4 minutes for the head shave. All right, we'll speed it up with Spin to Win. It's pretty good sound effect you've got going on. Are you sure that's a clipper?
Pretty sure.
Okay, just checking.
We'll find out in 4 minutes.
All right, Spin to Win. We have the Thunder taking on the Rockets. Wherever it lands, I have to make an argument for that team. Anthony automatically has to go with the
Winner.
opposing side because the professional, sharp sports bettor knows that you always think with your head, never your heart. Emotions cloud judgment. I am going to make an argument for the Thunder from down under. Oklahoma City, good teams, when they get embarrassed, they get annoyed. When they get annoyed and you have talent, you usually respond. The Oklahoma City Thunder, a good road team, an outstanding home team. They were embarrassed on their home court. They are the better team. We're talking about a team that went to the NBA championship a year ago before losing to the Miami Heat. But this team, coming off a loss, I expect this team to respond. And Oklahoma City, +1, +1.5. Kevin Durant, Westbrook is out, but Kevin Martin is not going to go 1 for 10. So get on the Thunder, plus the 1.5, ring up the ringer, see the cashier.
Yeah, it's good effort.
I tried.
It's good effort, much like the Thunder. Good effort, but, man, once you lost Russell Westbrook, you don't want to say that the whole series can be put on one player. You don't want to say that everything is resting on the shoulders of one guy, especially when Kevin Durant is still on the floor. But, man, if there's one thing that we saw the other night, it's how important Russell Westbrook really is to this team. Just everything that he brings to the table, from the cohesiveness and the gelling that he gets everybody, into on the floor to what he actually provides himself. Chandler Parsons, James Harden, man, they really showed up for the last game. And if that's any indication of what's to come, some guys don't show up right away. And James Harden wasn't really there the first couple of games, which you can attribute to possibly trying too hard. Some people say, well, you know what? He's trying to show Oklahoma, hey, you shouldn't have got rid of me. Here's why. And sometimes you press. Sometimes you press a little bit too much. But once you relax and you get settled in and you go, all right, I'm just going to play my game, he really, really showed up the other night. And if that's any indication of what's to come, then unfortunately, Oklahoma doesn't stand a chance. And let's not forget, Oklahoma City was my pick, and you got to stick with it. And I'm still pulling for them, but I'm concerned. And this is only a 1.5 in this game. I think actually Houston's going to win this game outright, unfortunately.
Well, here's what you have. Even if the Thunder should happen to get by the Rockets tonight, I still see Oklahoma City winning this series. They'll be a good-sized favorite at home in Game 7. The bigger concern for the Thunder and their fans is round 2, having to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. That's right, I'm calling out the Grizzlies. I think they're going to knock off the L.A. Clippers, even if it goes 7 games.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I took the Grizzlies in that series as well. In that day when you were like, in this team, and you said Memphis. You want Memphis? Yeah, I'll take Memphis. They've got no shot either. You're a joke, Anthony. You shouldn't even be in this studio with me.
Actually,
and here Memphis sits.
That's the one thing I agree with. You shouldn't even be in this studio with me. But, yeah, I'm not afraid to be wrong. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong 7 times since I woke up this morning.
Yeah, and 4 of them have been on the show.
Really? I'm having a good day. Usually I'm like 7, 8 times within the first 30-minute window. But, yeah, don't hurt your arm patting yourself on the back there.
I'm not. I'm just enjoying the vibration of these sweet, sweet wall clippers.
The Grizzlies a year ago, I actually liked the Grizzlies in the series a year ago. They were a small favorite against the Clippers. Clippers won in Game 7. This year, we're going to take a break. Yeah, well, I'm trying to stall. I'm trying to stall as much as I possibly can. All right. Well, we're going to, I guess the executive producer says we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, Anthony Scissorhands over here is going to attempt to cut my hair. This is not a good day. Stay tuned. You're listening to Odds Couple on KSHP and worldwide and live on Vegas Video Network. Come right back.
Have you ever thought you should be on the radio? Or have you considered doing an online video show or podcast? If so, now is your only chance to do both at the same time. KSHP and the Vegas Video Network have teamed up to provide the only multi-camera broadcast quality video and live radio simulcast in Las Vegas. And instead of having your show played at some ungodly hour, the KSHP Vegas Video Network partnership is producing shows that play from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Imagine having your own radio show broadcasting to the entire Las Vegas Valley, and combine that with an online presence that is viewed in all 50 states and 150 countries, both live and on demand. This is a first and an outstanding opportunity to give voice to your business, your ideas, and your talent. If you'd like your own show on KSHP and the Vegas Video Network, contact us today at 221-1200. That's 221-1200.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple. Scott Pritchard alongside Anthony Scissorhands Padilla here. Friends, have you ever stuck your foot in your mouth? Ever said something? Have you ever stuck your foot in your mouth? Have you ever said something? Check 1, 2, testing 1, 2. Are we okay? We're okay. Can you hear me okay, boys and girls, Radio Land? Now, if somehow, some way we could lose the video.
Scott, I'm telling you, man, it is game time. I know that it's a point in your day where you're a little bit beyond nervous, but I do have to commend you. As much fun as we're having with this, the fact that you would be a man of your word and still let us enjoy these Clippers with you.
Can we hear me now, boys and girls? Are we okay?
You understand, Scott, that even the mic realizes what's about to happen with you here.
The mic wants nothing to do with this. Okay, we're okay. All right, boys and girls in Radio Land and in Video Land, Anthony, if you want to get started, the sooner we get this done, the sooner it'll start to grow back. Go easy.
Right,
Again, I have a beautiful birthmark on the right side of my head. Do not clip that, or I will clip you.
Here's one thing you should understand, Scott. Every time somebody shaves their head in a situation like this, or any time really, you can't just. We're not at a barber shop, so if you're at a barber shop, you kind of want to start on the sides. But in this situation, just to guarantee and ensure that it's gotta happen, you've got to go straight down the middle. Because once that's gone, you have no choice, and it is game on. So
this is all happening because I made the mistake of. Enough with the flash photography already. This has to do with the fact that I made the mistake of questioning Anthony Padilla and saying, listen, the Denver Nuggets will beat the Golden State Warriors. I didn't even say that was going to happen, but Anthony made the mistake of saying, yeah, the Warriors, a number 6 seed, will beat a number 3 seed, which obviously is absurd. So now I get to look like a complete
This
idiot.
is a whole different kind of fun.
Slow down, at least show some pride here. I mean,
Are you kidding? The faster I get it off, the better. I think that's fantastic.
VegasInsider.com. This hat is going to be with me everywhere I go. You can at least finish the job.
I've got to say, folks at home, this is actually, you do not have a bad head.
Yeah.
For a shape,
great.
Seriously, it really makes your eyes stand out.
If you're
much more than I anticipated. This could be a good new look for you, Scott.
Yeah. You're having a little too much fun doing this. This is the Odds Couple on KSHP AM 1400 Radio. My name is Scott Pritchard, joined with Anthony Padilla. He's here every Friday.
With the
We're
Clippers.
going to go live up until 11 o'clock. Yeah, we can skip the eyebrows. Thank you.
Are you sure? Because it all just kind of runs together. Oh, I can handle some Clippers.
The Golden State Warriors knocked off the Denver Nuggets. This is why they, and I use that term loosely, are shaving my head in the studio here today. KSHP AM 1400 Radio, Vegas Video Network, live and worldwide. Yes, Mom, you get to archive this forever and ever thanks to the video. Hey, easy, man. Hey, did you bring a guard? Did you bring a guard for this
Oh,
clipper?
that's what I meant to put on.
Man, am I bleeding here?
We're gonna have to start over, man. I'm sorry.
Can you be a little gentle?
Well, unfortunately, because of the cord situation that we're working with,
Oh, yeah, you're going to tell me we're done now.
we're going to have to hold off on the rest probably until after
Hey,
the
I'm
show.
supposed to have some hair. Why do I not have any hair?
You do. You've got this right here.
I don't have
You
any
said
hair.
you said you needed to leave that
But
one
did
little
you?
area.
It was
with
supposed
the,
to be like a 5 or a 1.
Yeah, no, that's
No, you can at least finish the job there, clown.
I'm not. Yeah, we do have to wait because of the cord situation, or you're gonna have to turn your back to the people at home because there's no other way to do it.
Do you want me to move somewhere, like outside?
No, the cord won't reach. So, we're gonna
You
have
want me to go left one time? Is this okay?
Yeah, come on over so we can do this, folks at home. You had your chance to save Scott, so there is no.
So does this
love
mean that
lost
you're
for-
not going to take my cash offer?
I'll take it now. Wait, you said $100 in lunch, right? Yeah, I'll do it. $100 in lunch. You guys want to go to lunch? I'm not done.
Okay, so what are we doing for the Spurs against the Warriors? All right, you can't go run and hide now. I mean, what's the best wig shop? Is that what you said? I've never seen so many people in the live studio audience.
We could have done a dual purpose here. You could have donated this to Locks of Love because, wow, there's a lot here. I didn't realize, as short as it looks, because of the size of your head, you have a large amount of hair.
That's because I have a big brain, all right?
Apparently not. You've been on this series.
Apparently I talk too much. Hey, watch the birthmark here, young man.
Oh,
Easy,
we're good.
killer.
We're good.
Edward Scissorhands.
Look, if it comes
Good
off,
God.
it'll just be like a Band-Aid.
Yeah, I want to talk about Mark Jackson and the Golden State Warriors. I mean, it's been a feel-good story. I mean, really, a good coach, 2 years of coaching NBA basketball. This is a bit of a challenge. I mean, I have tunnel vision. I have the blinders on, but trying to be professional in the studio talking sports betting while Anthony's cutting my hair. What's that?
You're doing great.
Ah, great. Awesome. Well, he was supposed to leave some hair. I'm afraid to look at the monitor. Holy cow.
Scott, I am telling you, this looks much better than you thought it was.
You know what? I should have had Zane. Zane was willing to come in. Not only is she beautiful, she's a trained professional. She cuts Celine
Well, why didn't
Dion's
you tell her
hair.
to come by?
And now,
You could have had
the
her.
concern was she's video shy.
You could have had her come by, and she could have supervised, so you felt a little bit better about the situation.
Well, I don't think there's anything that would make me feel better outside of this cap.
Yeah, we're not done. But again, we've got this situation where I don't want to take that mole off. And if I press it too much because of the length of cord,
so we'll just leave it like this.
Just for now. Just for
the next week. Okay, great. All right, can we break for another commercial break possibly, and I can get the heck out of here? We're going. All right, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, we're going to break for a commercial. You're listening to The Odds Couple on KSHP AM 1400 Radio, live and worldwide, simulcast on Vegas Video Network. My name is Scott Pritchard alongside Anthony Padilla. Come back.
Traditional media believes that after about 3 minutes, you'll tune out. Most Vegas media companies think if it doesn't jiggle, you won't tune in. At the Vegas Video Network, we think both are wrong. The Vegas Video Network is the first and only live online broadcast network that specializes in insider news and expert views about Vegas. We combine great storytelling with the ability to watch when and where you want on your computer, mobile device, or television. Discover the real Las Vegas. Visit VegasVideoNetwork.com.
This is David Ivey from Pub Crawl. It's funny because it's David from. You should just leave it on. Hi, I'm David Ivey from Pub Crawl, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network. And scene.
Oh, hi. I'm Kelly Clinton. That's stuff. I wonder if Joan Rivers is watching. Oh, please. Oh, my God. Who cares? I don't have a different one. You know who watches this show? Wayne Newton.
You got that right, Kelly. I think you're absolutely beautiful and talented young lady. 5, 6, 9, 12. Talk your shit.
More camera time for me. Hey, I wonder if Cher's watching. Oh, please. I have so many other things to do. Woo! Hi, I'm Kelly Clinton. I'm the host of Talk Tales, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network. That was horrible.
Right, Kelly Clinton. Isn't she beautiful? Clint Holmes'
She's got
wife.
nothing on Scott Pritchard.
I see that. She doesn't walk around with a bald head. She's a lot smarter than I am.
You know what, Scott? You haven't seen yourself yet, but you look like an NFL head coach right now.
Bum Phillips?
You've got that look. You've got that because you're a big boy as it is. And I was just saying before we went to break, I was expecting the shape of your head to be much different than it is. But
I think your words were kind of like a blockhead.
Well, yes. Well,
why would you hold back now?
I was going to call that out on air, but yes, that is what I was expecting. But you have a great.
Don't try to flatter me and score points now.
I'm not.
Okay,
I have no reason to. I'm telling you, you have a good head for a shaved head.
I'm just concerned that you seem to have some experience doing this. I mean, a few too many frat parties at the colleges or the special needs school that you went to?
I go, little jail time will get you good with clippers.
Skittle liquor. All right, this is The Odds Couple on KSHP AM 1400 Radio. Boy, oh boy, you don't have to look far to find frustration in this studio or in the world of sports or sports betting. Are you kidding me?
All right. Now, as much as I was really upset about this Derrick Rose thing, that's what I was planning on coming in today and talking about. We talked about that earlier because as I was coming in, I had a little bit of time to kill. So I stopped to get some gas just right outside here in the parking lot. And I went inside to pay, and I found in my pocket this Visa gift card. So these come in handy, and it's like, all right, well, why put it out of the ATM or whatever? I'll just use this, just all in one shot. So I say, hey, do you guys take gift cards for gasoline? Yeah, sure. All right, so they put in the amount. I swipe the card. They run it, and she goes, oh, well, I don't know what to do right now because normally with these you would have to show a photo ID. And she goes, well, let me ask this other guy. So the other guy comes over to help out, and he goes, well, there's no name on it. Yeah, there is. Gift card recipient. It's a gift card. Well, yeah, but, the thing is, in our system, normally you've got to have the credit card and then the ID because we match up the ID. And I go, no, I understand because then you swipe it, right? And he goes, no. We just have to verify. But there's no name on the card, so we can't match your ID with the card. I go, so wait. All you have to do is push a button? All you have to do is just say, okay? And he goes, well, yeah. I said, it's a gift card. And he goes, well, yeah, but still, we can't. I go, it's not stolen. And even if it is, nobody's looking for it. It's a gift card, man. And he goes, well, I'm sorry. There's still a lot of theft with gift cards, and we're just trying to. So, dude, look, I understand identity theft, but if you're out there and you work anywhere, stop trying to save the world. Because let's be honest, if your credit card gets stolen, you've got protection on it. Every company is going to refund any money, any losses these days, because nobody's going to realize 8 months later, wow, I haven't used my Visa in a while, but I keep getting all these charges. At the most, you're going to realize it when you get your next statement, in case you don't use your credit card often, and you go, wait, I didn't buy clippers at Walmart. Okay? But otherwise, it's not that big of a deal. A gift card? Look, if somebody comes in at your 7-Eleven to use a gift card, no ID necessary. It's a gift card. Are you kidding me?
Before we get to my Are You Kidding Me segment, Anthony, while you were in the parking lot siphoning gas, I was working extremely hard on my segment. George Karl, are you kidding me? Really? 30 years coaching experience. I've dogged George Karl for years. I mean, I love the guy. I make a lot of money betting on the Seattle Supersonics, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Denver Nuggets during the regular season when George Karl is coaching. The problem is I've lost a lot of money betting on George Karl, not to be confused with George Carlin. George Karl in the postseason. What a joke. Out-coached by Mark Jackson, who I like. Good coach, players coach, they respond, they play well. He was out-coached this entire series by Mark Jackson. George Karl, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's hard to really argue with your point, and I get it, But again, could you make the argument for young blood versus old blood?
No.
Young, fresh, Mark Jackson,
No, I would. History has a way of repeating itself. George Karl is a very good regular season coach, has nothing to do with the postseason.
Now, let me pose you this question. What if Denver were playing San Antonio and you've got Popovich versus Karl?
No comparison between the two. No one. Pop knows best. Greg Popovich is the best coach on the planet when it comes to basketball.
And how
just
long,
like Bill Belichick is the best coach on the planet in
and
football.
How long has Popovich been in the game?
Well, I believe it 1998, 97, 98.
Okay, so 14 years.
It actually coincides with when Tim Duncan came out from Wake Forest, and they had the Twin Towers with David Robinson. Actually, what happened
was about 96, wasn't it?
It might have been 96, 97. They've won 4 NBA championships. The most recent was 2007. This year they have a legit shot.
So,
not that anyone's going to beat Miami, but they will win the West, in my opinion.
So George Karl also has 15 years on Popovich. So against the new guy, the quote-unquote new guy, Mark Jackson, how dare you lose? But the 15-year guy, you have no problem with him.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and once again, it's absurd, and here's why. Now, it has to do with if the Chicago Bulls lose to the Brooklyn Nets, there's no shame in that. You're a 5 seed, you're on the road, you're playing a 4 seed, you're banged up. But if you are a 3 seed, George Karl, or if you're a number 1 seed with the Seattle Supersonics in 1994 and you get beat by a number 8, Dikembe Mutombo, and the Denver Nuggets, that's kind of ironic, isn't it? There's a problem. There is a problem. There's no shame. Mark Jackson losing to the Spurs in 4 or 5 games coming up, there's no shame in that. The Spurs are the best team on the planet in the Western Conference.
So what do you think? I mean, can you justify, not that they're going to, not that it's a discussion.
Is this a job interview? What's with all these random questions? Go ahead, I'm listening. One time I'm going to listen to you.
This is a sports show. We can go back to your hair.
Well, I don't want to.
If you'd like.
I'm going to get rid of all the mirrors in my house.
These clippers don't run on batteries. They'll go all day.
Well, you know what,
now,
Mr. Scissorhands, I'm telling you, I don't know. I mean, really? Zane cuts my hair, and it takes her an hour and a half. You do it in about 7 seconds, and I'm very concerned here.
And it looks better than it ever has.
Yeah.
All due respect to Zane.
Great.
She can still dye it if you want, but now look. I don't even know what I was going to say about the Nuggets anymore.
Well,
why
should today be any different than any other day?
They lost 3 games during the regular season. Arguably the best. Everybody was singing his praises going into the playoffs.
Regular season.
Sure. So then what do? You can't justify getting rid of a coach that loses only 3 home games all year.
No, just know from a sports betting standpoint, it's on me. Okay, it's always on me. a la opening up my mouth saying, "Oh yeah, well the Nuggets, no shot that they could get beat."
But you make a good point, and that's why I'm asking. How then should the fans feel? Knowing, well, great. What's going to be different next year? We're going to go 69-3, and then we're going to go to the playoffs.
Nothing is going to be changed.
Or we're going to go 75-3.
George Karl does not get it done. His style of coaching, I love the guy. I like him personally. He's 61 years old. He's had faced some adversity, overcome some health concerns. Likable guy, good coach. But in the postseason, he has it's not even close. He's not even close to 500. And he's had talent. The Seattle Supersonics, holy cow. Hersey, no mercy, Hawkins, Sam, I am, Perkins, Sean. I have 37 kids from 10 different women. Kemp, Gary Payton. I mean, they had talent. Nate McMillan, Detlef Shrimp. Man, I feel like I'm in a time machine.
You look like it.
Well, I'm sure I do, thanks to you. But where did you learn to cut like that besides prison?
Amazing, right? I know. I'm really good with Clippers, man.
Yeah, well.
Speaking of the Clippers.
Well, they're taking on the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. Memphis, the line opened 4.5, 5, been bet up to 6, 6.5. All the money has come in on Memphis. And again, I'm not proud. I am loud, but I don't mind changing boats in midstream. Going into the series, I like the Clippers, but now I like the Grizzlies. I mean, why not? I mean, I love their starting five. Their bench is bad. They have a very good coach. They're at home. They play. This team was made for the playoffs. Half court set. They slow it down. They play in mud. Every possession is magnified. I love their starting five. Tony Allen, Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, Defensive Player of the Year, which is a joke. How does Tim Duncan not get Defensive Player of the Year? I'll tell you why. Gary Payton was the steals leader for years, but he was a bad defensive player. That's right, I said it, a bad defensive player. Why? It's a joke. Let the players determine, not the media. What does the media know about these players? The players would vote Tim Duncan, Defensive Player of the Year. Gary Payton, for the Seattle Supersonics years ago, always would lead the league in steals. Iverson, same thing. They just basically gambled more than anyone else.
Well, now the fact that you say Tim Duncan, you have just as many arguments for LeBron James. So, I mean, truly, is there ever going to be a correct answer?
Probably not, and that's why we continue to talk about it. It's subjective. LeBron James.
I feel bad for Gasol because he's really taken a beating on winning this when really he should be reveling in the great job that he did during the season.
Well, I've never seen a big man so tough defensively and so weak in the post offensively. He's kind of like, he is more comfortable shooting 20, 22-foot set shots. He's very effective. But it's good because you bring the opposing team's big man out, frees up the middle. The Memphis Grizzlies will beat the LA Clippers and advance to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder eventually. This is the Odds Couple on KSHP AM 1400 Radio. We're live and worldwide, Vegas Video Network. Scott Pritchard joined my good buddy Anthony Padilla. This is an exciting part of the show. As good as it's been, it's about to get even better.
What? We already shaved your head.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. This is the part of the show where Anthony and I together put money into your pocket as we put you on the right side.
Well, clearly, I won this series bet. Now, that doesn't count towards our statistics, but I did have Golden State over the Denver Nuggets in that series. Going back to last week, I don't remember who I had in that game.
You won.
I believe it was the
Was it
Lakers.
the Spurs-Lakers? I believe
yes.
You had the Spurs minus 4.5. It went to 6, 6.5.
And they won by 47.
Well, they won by 21 and 31.
Yeah.
They won by 52 their last two games.
Yeah.
I know you just throw darts at a board and just throw random numbers out there, but their last two games they won by 21 and 31, and that was in L.A.
But, look, that last game, forget it. Lakers had already cashed it in, and they were just getting the Staples Center ready for the Clippers. The game before that, you had nobody. Everybody was literally you were literally playing with your entire bench. So, I mean, what do you really expect? In fact, I think it's more of a testament to the Spurs that they won by that amount of points versus that depleted Lakers team versus the Lakers actually, saying the Lakers showed up. Look, you can't count out. It was just unfortunate circumstances. Stephen Blake was out. Steve Nash was out. Kobe Bryant was out.
Meeks.
Yeah, what can you do?
Right.
So that was for all intent and purposes an easy win. For anybody. Wouldn't you say as a bettor?
There's
Wouldn't
no such
you
thing.
Wouldn't
No
you,
such thing as a.
No, I understand.
It opened 3, so everyone saw it the way you did. Me as a professional, I would never lay 4.5 when I laid 3, but the whole
even
world,
knowing with all of these guys out, knowing going into that game that all of these guys were out.
Well, that's again, you want to be on the move early or against it late. Why would you lay 6.5? I don't care that they won by 20. Why would you lay? Are you that good? You can lay 10-cent juice and get 3.5 points, the worst of it. So on the move early, against it late, -3 is a good bet. -6.5 turned out to be a good bet, but you'd feel like a fool. Kind of like how I feel right now with this shaved head. You would feel like a fool if it fell 4, 5, or 6. Okay? It's a bad habit to get into, my friend.
Yeah, I understand that. But I still think that sometimes this is where you can take the numbers part out of it. If it would have been 7, 8, 9, I would have agreed. But and actually going back to the right side this week, I do have the Clippers at the Grizzlies tonight. And you said it's up to 6.5 now. I believe it was at 6.
Yeah.
And this for me is a tough call. This is the first week that I'm going to say that I'm concerned about this because it's getting into dangerous waters as far as the points. Because if you look at the first couple games of this series, the Clippers were dominant. But then the last 2 games, the Memphis Grizzlies have basically all but blown them out. And now going into tonight's game, the Clippers are probably minus Blake Griffin. He's got a high ankle sprain, which even if he plays, which he's highly doubtful, so even if he does, you know that you're not going to get even close to 100% out of him. And then you've got Chris Paul, also probably not going to play. I think this just really plays in favor of Memphis, especially because they are so hot right now and they're looking really, really good. It's in Memphis. It's dangerous with the points. If you're going to do it now. So the right side for me is I will take the Grizzlies. Now, when this came out, it was at 6, and I was going to take the 6. I'll still take the 6.5, but if it goes more than that, I think I would have to go the other way. So if you're going to lock in at 6.5, the right side for me would be the Grizzlies minus the 6.5.
Anthony has been on a tear, ATS against the spread. I know this because he tells me every time I see him, but it's true. It's January was the last time he lost a game. We do the right side every Friday with Anthony. Before we get to my right side, my one play, one time, it's not how many you play, it's how many you win. Yesterday, my play, Toronto, Boston, under 9, -15, -20. Easy winner, chicken dinner, 3-1 final. 2 days ago, I released the Houston Rockets, +9 against Oklahoma City. Didn't need the points. They won the game straight up. So I'm on a 2-game winning streak. My other co-host, Monday through Thursday, Brett Grant, GM of KSHP, red hot 3-1 this week. He was on the Chicago White Sox yesterday as a big fat dog, so good job for Brett. My play today, I'm looking at the Angels, a big disappointment, 10-18 on the year, ERA of 5.21. This team has been an absolute embarrassment. Josh Hamilton puddling along with a 214 batting average, 2 home runs. Mike Trout, not the same guy. They've been hit with some injuries, but get over it. Angels are hosting the Baltimore O's. It's Gonzalez against Vargas. Angels are a $1.25 favorite. Timing is everything, knowing when to get on, when to get off. This team has been a good over team, much like the Oakland A's. My money is on the Angels at home minus the 25 cents. Ring up the ringer. See the cashier.
No,
what are you doing this weekend, young man?
Enjoying what I accomplished here today.
Again, this very beautiful cap, VegasInsider.com, I'll be wearing this to church.
I guarantee you're going to get more women approaching you now.
Yes, taking pictures and saying, wow, look at the...
You're already getting feedback that says I can really see the blue in your eyes now.
I told you, it really brings your eyes
What was the guy's name?
And it's ironic. It's ironic that you would wear that shirt today because your eyes just pop, man. They really do.
How can you... I thought you had a man crush on LeBron James.
No, it's going to be hard for me to show up next week knowing that you look this good with no hair.
Back to the original question. What are you doing tonight?
Working, baby. Just like always over at LVH every Wednesday through Sunday. Got a lot of fun people coming through to do guest spots with us this weekend, so that'll be fun. And, of course, Pritchard's Picks.
Comedy After Dark, Anthony Padilla, LVH, outstanding show. If you're in Las Vegas, I do stand-up comedy on the Strip every Saturday night. Bally's Hotel Casino, LA Comedy Club. This is The Odds Couple. My name is Scott Pritchard. Monday through Friday, we go from 10A to 11A. Have a great weekend.